Let's try to get one practice one in because I'm still trying to get familiar. Shit. Okay, there's that sound. Got a tiny bit of feedback, man, but we just got to run with it. All right, let's try this.
Live from Stockton, California, by way of Nashville, Tennessee, your host is filthy fucking rich. He's filthy fucking cheap. This man leaves no chips. Give it up for the multi-million-dollar Jiu-Jitsu champion, Tim Freeman. And his co-host is an undefeated fighting legend, the best pro wrestler that ever came out of Northern California. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the big MF Mac Freeman. This is the Inside BJJ podcast. I stuttered. That's the first time I've done it in a long time.
You're a stuttering fool.
Stuttering MF.
What do you want to keep that one, or you want to try another one?
Get one more time.
All right, let's go one more. Boom, 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 bam, 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 bam. Okay, ready?
Live from Stockton, California, by way of Nashville, Tennessee, your host is filthy fucking rich, and he's even filthy fucking cheaper. This man leaves no tips. Give it up for the multi-million-dollar Jiu-Jitsu champion, Tim Freeman, and his co-host is an undefeated fighting. Start out one more time.
What happened, man?
I don't know.
What happened?
I'm throwing in this undefeated fighting legend that's throwing me off, so I'm going to skip it.
Yeah, because you're lying. That's why. When you lie, God calls you out.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay. Let's try it again. You just agreed. You're like, shut up, idiot. All right, let's try one more time. Ready?
Live from Stockton, California, by way of Nashville, Tennessee, your host is filthy fucking rich. He's even filthy fucking cheaper. Jiu-Jitsu black belt, the multi-million-dollar Jiu-Jitsu champion, Tim Freeman. And his co-host is an undefeated fighting legend, the best wrestler that ever came out of Northern California. Give it up for the big MF Matt Freeman. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Inside BJJ podcast.
Hell yeah. What is up, big MF?
What's up, my brother?
Good to be back.
I was at the casino last night, had a good run, won some money, just barely made it back in time to do this show.
Nice. Won some money. What's winning some money for you when you go to the casino? How much
I came up about $400.
$400. Did you blow it yet?
No. Playing my favorite game, roulette.
You came back. You said I came back to Deja Vu in Stockton on 2 for 1. I have a
system. Night. Every time I win $100, I put it away, and I start over with my first $100. If I lose the first $100, I quit. I keep on going until I lose $100.
And how well is your system going?
My system of blackjack has gone very well when I stick to it.
How often do you stick to the system? That's the question.
It depends on how drunk I am and how many other things I've done when I go to the casino.
How many bumps you've gotten in?
Little things, something like that.
Little things like that.
Things that, like that could push me to do things, take an unnecessary risk.
Right. No, I got you. It seems like every time I've ever thought that I had a system, I thought I had a system when I was betting on MMA and I had a little bit of success and I'm like, oh, I got a little system down. And then my system didn't work. And then I didn't trust my system. Then I didn't trust myself. And then I got into this like spiral where I couldn't quite pick the fight right. And so I just stepped away from it for a while. You can get in your own head.
Well, the house is not made for anyone to win. It's designed for you to eventually lose. It's designed to eventually get your money.
Of course, right? 100%. That's the way they make their money. But dude, have you seen how much sports gambling's going on now though? Like it used to be like something you had to do online, something you had to do in some, kind of like nefarious website somewhere. And now you can just go down to Vegas, walk into one of those sports books and just start betting. And those places are nice, man. And there's people who stay there all damn day. Did you see that documentary with Vegas Dave? You remember that cat, right?
Yeah, yeah. I didn't see the documentary though.
Dude, it's pretty wild. It basically follows him around, shows like him and some other dudes that do the same shit, but they're basically gambling addicts going from casino to casino, betting on like every sports event and every angle you could possibly fucking think of. It's insane, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, I've made a lot of bets and I've lost a lot of money. MMA, I quit betting on it. I've
Would
gotten into deep holes with some people that you shouldn't get into deep holes with. I mean, I stick to roulette now. It's so hard to call these fights.
you stick to roulette? You're like, fuck it, it's
That's my
roulette,
only
right?
game, and I bet red or black. That's the only thing I bet is red or black.
Explain to me how roulette works. What's the idea behind roulette?
Well, you got all these numbers, and there's odds if it hits the number, and every number is red or black, and there's one green on one side and one green on the other. So green is a motherfucker. Green will fuck your red and black up. What I do is I look. You have a screen that will show you how many times it was red or black, like how many times in a row. It was red, 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 black, black, red, black, red, black. And I look for the patterns. Like, okay, well, it hasn't gone red, red, red in a while. So I'm going to start betting heavy now. It's been red twice or red once or whatever.
Right.
You try to find these little patterns
Uh-huh.
and you look at the percentage. Okay, it's been red 50% of the time. It's been black 45% of the time. It's going to start going black again. Green can
Are you
fuck your shit up,
keeping
bro.
these statistics down as you go? Or are you just
They show
eyeballing
you
it?
right on the screen. My favorite
Oh, I
one
see.
is they call it California roulette, where it's a machine. It's
Uh-huh.
like a dome. You don't really have a dealer or nothing, and you can see the screen a little bit better, and it's a little bit
Yeah.
less pressure. You're kind of chilling, watching the machine. I feel like I connect with the machine. I say it in my head: red, 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 or black, black. It's gonna go
Right.
black. It's gonna go black. And sometimes I get so worked up when I'm losing money, and I will double when I'm losing. I double down because it goes black, 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 or red, 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 red. And I'm like, it's gotta go black now. If it's gone red 3 or 4 times, usually it's gonna go black. Sometimes it'll just keep going red.
And you don't get it.
That's when I fucking lose. That's when I start doubling down. Exactly. I start doubling down.
Right,
And I'll
exactly.
get so crazy, I'll start going, in the name of Jesus, black.
You know what I love about it, Matt, is there is a method to your madness, and it is madness, but there's still a method to it, and sometimes the method works for you. That's what's so fucking great.
When I stick to that, it works pretty decent.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I've always been intimidated to sit down at a gaming table and just start playing cards or playing some fucking game. I have no clue what I'm playing. Pretty much, I know enough to know that I'm gonna lose all my money. I don't mind like fucking around with video poker, but it's all stupid. Like you're gonna lose all your shit, right? I
I
mean,
am too dumb to play any other game other than roulette, and I can only bet red or black because I'm only smart enough to look at patterns. Red, 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 black, black, black. It's got to go red now.
it's like tic-tac-toe to you. It's
It's
3 in a
checkers.
row. You're playing checkers.
I'm
There you
playing
go.
checkers.
Nice, yeah. Speaking of gaming, man, and all the money that's being bet, big UFC coming up, but we had one last night, and I'm not gonna lie,
You
dude.
did?
Yeah, I fell asleep
Pretty lackluster. Yeah.
three times trying to get through it, man. 3 times.
I got bored and said, fuck it, let's go to the casino.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, man. I got super bored, man. I was trying to hang out with my old lady, and then I just was like, forget this, dude.
She
This
was
is
like, I'm not into it tonight.
She
You're
was like,
fuck it.
hey.
She was like, I got a headache. I'm tired.
Yeah. It's more like more like that, my friend.
Right.
You know how it goes. Hey, I'll tell you. Let me tell you this little secret. Okay, you want to know a secret?
Sure.
You want to have a nice time with your girl, especially if you're from California. You got to get her up into the snow. You got to get her where it's real cold outside.
I noticed you just went to the snow.
It snows here, and when it snows, snow day is now code for gonna be
Body
a snow
heat day.
day.
It's really
gonna
cold.
be.
We got to get close together. I like where you're going.
You like where I'm going? That's the move,
It's
man.
pretty smart. You got to think ahead.
You got to think ahead. That's only if you're out where it's warm. If you live in Minnesota, like snow day don't mean shit. You know what I mean? Every day's a snow day. You got to take her to the beach.
You live in a place where it snows once in a while. So you capitalize on that
twice
snow.
a year. Yeah.
You're like, it's snowing, I'm
Oh,
getting laid.
oh yeah. You got to have all that. You got to have the whole day set aside, pre-planned.
You're looking at
You
the
know,
forecast. Oh, it's gonna snow in 2 days. I'm gonna start being real nice and sweet right now.
but you're trying to
I'm gonna
control
do
it
some
too much.
extra cleaning around the house.
Don't make any plans for Thursday. You're worried someone's gonna fuck it up. Don't invite your sister over.
You're taking out the garbage.
You're doing laundry. You're taking care of everything.
You're saying nice, sweet things.
You ever try
You're
that route?
remembering all the shit she likes.
You ever try that route, but then end up in an argument? Well, obviously,
Right.
obviously, you talked about it last week.
Sure. I got a lot of feedback on that one.
Yeah, you did. You know what I called it? I called it the boat canoe. You were riding the couch canoe. The couch canoe is when you're stranded on the couch for 5 hours trying to do the deed.
I fell asleep with a remote control in one hand and my dick in the other.
That's just, dude. That's just
It's facts.
That's a sign that you're getting old, man. That's really what that is.
I don't know,
No.
man. I was 3 hours deep, bro, and it was hella late.
Couldn't finish. I feel sorry. You probably needed a rest day, huh? The next day,
Take a break.
you just felt demoralized, debaucherized. But anyway, the UFC, man, it wasn't that entertaining. It was a little bit
The
entertaining.
elbows were nice, and then that body shot was nice. That was a nasty ass
The body shot was really dope. Yeah. No, I gotta say, yeah, that was pretty dope. In bigger news than that, the 49ers won today their playoff
What a
game
game
against
man.
the South America's favorite
Asshole,
team, the Dallas
cocksucking,
Cowboys.
piece of shit, motherfucking Dallas bitch ass Cowboys.
That's right. You know how I hurt my dad when I was a kid? You know how big of a 49ers fan my dad is, right?
Die fucking hard.
I hurt him. He went away on a trip and he said, "What do you want me to get you while I'm out?" And I said, "I want a Dallas Cowboys hat, Daddy."
What a dick.
What a dick move, huh? I was 5 and he brought it home and made me wear it. And it was kind of like humiliated me. I think that's when the Boss Hog thing started. Remember the Boss Hog shit? That was kind of rude.
Yeah, everyone called this motherfucker Boss Hog.
Isn't that
'Cause he was
insane?
a little bit chunky or something.
I was a little bit chunky. I was more than a little bit chunky. I was a little chubbed, but Boss
No,
Hog
man,
stuck with me.
this game was great because you had a rivalry, and I hadn't felt juiced up about football in a long time. This game got me talking shit. It got me posting memes. It got me back to fuck the Cowboys. Dwight
felt
Clark
good,
to
huh?
catch. It had me thinking Montana to Rice.
Yeah.
It had me thinking all that shit.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It felt good. I watched the end of that game, and then I watched Pittsburgh.
The end.
Well, I watched like the last 2 quarters of it.
You're one of those.
I was it was a snow day, man. You know what I'm
They
saying?
almost blew it.
It was a snow
Those
day. let's just say
motherfuckers
that.
almost blew that game.
Yeah, they
That
did.
got close.
Yeah, it got too close. They were trying.
Penalties up the fucking ass, bro. Every fucking play in the NFL, you're waiting if they're going to have a flag or a penalty when it's over.
Yeah, it's kind of lame. It's gone too far. They need another kind of football. They need like a new football where they don't have rules on how you line up. You could have as long as you have 11 guys, you could line them up any way you want.
It's
and
the new
anyone can do
XFL is
anyone.
coming back.
Yeah, anyone should be able to catch the ball and all that shit. There should these rules about he's a down lineman. It's like, this is stupid. That's dumb. The objective should be, how do we get this ball from one end zone to the other? Period. Like,
I think
however we can do
what you're
it.
saying is kind of crazy, bro.
It sounds way better, doesn't it?
You can't have a lineman catching the football.
Yeah, you can. You can do whatever you want. You can have a bunch of midgets out there playing, clowns, real fast guys. Like, and you should be able to wear whatever you want as well, like within reason, right? But I don't know. I it did feel good to watch football though, man. It was kind
The
of nice.
49ers are back, the team of the 80s. 49er football fever, motherfuckers.
Yeah, I'm stoked. And did you see they got a Joe Montana documentary coming out?
I saw that. It's on Peacock, right?
Yeah, I can't wait to watch that. I'm gonna fire that up and jump on it, man. Joe Montana was like the epitome of the cool guy when we were kids. Like Joe, it was cool Joe, man. He was basically, if somebody said, "Oh man, that guy's cool," when I was a kid, I thought about Joe Montana. Joe
Cool,
Montana and Huey Lewis. Those are the two coolest motherfuckers that I could
super
think
cool
of.
guys. That they both are in San Francisco.
Yeah, local guys, right? Well, in our brain, we felt like we had rights to San Francisco and what was going on in San Francisco because we
Joe
were
was the
close enough.
fucking man. The
Oh,
fucking man.
they were so goddamn good in the 80s that you were spoiled to be a football fan and like the 49ers because
Fuck yeah.
the lean years came not too long after that and it
Yeah,
was like,
after
what
our
the
gangster
hell?
owner lost ownership of the team for doing gangster shit.
Doing shit that everyone else is already doing. Now they got a goddamn team in Las Vegas.
That is crazy.
And he lost the 49ers over some
They
bullshit.
always said that they couldn't have a pro team in Vegas because of gambling.
Yeah. Well, now they have a pro team in Vegas because of gambling. There's so much money changing hands. It's insane. You got to watch that documentary. Anyway, yeah, I was stoked about the 49ers, man. That was pretty cool to watch that. So, not that I'm going to get back into football too much though, man. It's just too
When
hard.
my team is winning, I'm into it.
Yeah, I'm a total fair weather fan now. Like I don't even try to hide it. When my team's winning, I'm watching the games, and when they're not, I don't give a fuck. I can't name one player on the team, and I don't care. I put enough time in, and I don't care. I'm like one of those workers that work somewhere for a long time.
My team
I'm like,
sucks.
fuck
I
you guys.
don't really follow too much.
Yeah, I don't follow at all.
I start paying attention when it's close to the playoffs.
If it's
And if they're in
exciting,
the hunt, then I start watching.
and then if they lose, I'm like, it doesn't matter. I don't watch them anyway.
Then I talk like I knew their running game is weak. I knew their pass or they can't rush the passer. Like I fucking know.
Is there anything like more despised than a fake fan, though? You know
We're
what I
all
mean?
fake.
Like,
90% of us are fake.
what is a real fan? What constitutes a real fan? You got to watch every game.
I think it's the ones that never jump off the ship. They stay on. But the thing of it is one day you realize is that you're the only one not jumping off the ship. None of the players are on the ship. There's
Yeah.
no loyalty anywhere else.
Yeah, right. When I got into jujitsu and got into MMA, like the team sport thing became less important to me, and I started getting into the fighting. It was always entertaining, but I started watching it from a different perspective after that, and I felt like I had a better understanding of it than I had of baseball or football or whatever. Like I don't fucking understand football that well. Football's
It's
got a
fucking
lot of
hard, man.
crazy
There's so
shit
many
going on.
plays and tricks, and
Fuck all
it's
that,
really
man.
fucking hard.
Yeah, unless you played football, it's hard to understand football.
It's like they need to rush the ball. They need to put pressure on the quarterback. It's like, duh.
I think 80% of the shit that the announcers are saying, 80% of the people don't understand it. You could be like, you got to put a nickel dime formation down. You're going to get a wishbone on the quarter, and you're going to have a fullback, and he's going to do a double drop tap. It's like nobody knows what the fuck they're talking about. They're making shit up.
Well, it's just like, you're doing a jiu-jitsu play-by-play. He hit the truck. Now he's going to go for the 50-50. Oh, he took his back. He's got side crackhead
Yeah.
control.
Right. That's true. Jiu-jitsu is so boring for a regular person. So one of the stupidest martial arts.
That's why I get into arguments with a lot of jiu-jitsu guys. It could get so big. It's never going to fucking be mainstream. You're out of your fucking mind if you think that jiu-jitsu is going to be as mainstream as any other sport is.
Do you think ADCC could like no-gi ADCC style jiu-jitsu could be more popular than it is right now, though?
Okay, yeah, more popular than it is right now, sure.
I mean, okay, that's an
Mainstream,
easy question.
no.
What does mainstream mean?
Mainstream is you talk to regular people somewhere, at a store, at a gap, wherever, and they know about it.
They
That's what I
know
think
they know
mainstream
they
is.
know who
Most
these
people
people
know
are.
what it is. You bring up a name, they've heard of them.
Do you think that if ESPN just said, "Hey, here's what we're gonna fucking do. We are gonna put an hour of ADCC or not, let's say not ADCC, let's say submission only top guys on, and we're gonna put it on after the football game on Sunday, and we're gonna heavily advertise it." Do you think that people would watch it?
They wouldn't. You got to be into it to get it.
Do you think that maybe the market then is for the MMA fan? Because I think the MMA fan that wants to get into it a little more kind of likes the submission grappling
The
thing.
market is that, and all the people around the world that train it. Because there's a
Yeah.
lot of people. It's a lot of people doing it. If you look at the whole world, a lot of people are doing jiu-jitsu. Those are the motherfuckers that are going to watch the ADCCs. Motherfuckers
Yeah.
that go to your job and they watch football, they're not going to watch that. They're not even know. They might watch it once or twice. They're going to be like, "Why are they doing that? Why don't they stand up? Why are they doing this? Why are they doing that?"
But do you think that, like, okay, let's say in the next 20 years, do you think that mixed martial arts will be more popular than the NFL?
Maybe.
Okay,
Could
so what I'm wondering is if the NFL or if, say, mixed martial arts gets really popular, does it then bring up submission grappling with it? Because I feel like that's the one thing that benefits more than boxing. It benefits more than wrestling. Like jiu-jitsu has benefited so much from
it could
MMA for
yeah,
decades.
the higher MMA goes, the better for jujitsu because jujitsu was its core. It's a big core in
Yeah.
MMA. Definitely it helps for sure. Being on Fight Pass, jujitsu fighters, exciting jujitsu fighters too.
And I think that because the very first UFC was dominated by a jujitsu guy, that people feel like jujitsu was the core of the beginning of MMA, even
Which
though
it was.
it kind of it was, but not 100%, right? I
In the
mean,
beginning, it was the core. You had the one thing you had to know, the one thing that was proven, you had to know jujitsu to do well in MMA.
yeah, I mean, but did you like the fights that were going on in Brazil and Japan? Did you have to know jujitsu to to fight in those style matches? I mean, because they were doing Vale Tudo in Brazil, and some of those guys were
Yeah,
not
but I
jujitsu
mean,
guys.
they knew submission grappling, that
Yeah, yeah, they did. So they had some knowledge of it. Defensive jiu-jitsu probably for sure.
you
Like's
had to be
going
able
on
to do
now.
arm bars and chokes and defend them out and not give your back.
Yeah.
I got a funny story. So my son Lucas has trained in your jujitsu class before.
Yeah.
There was a kid I guess he was like a little bit of a bully, not too bad. So they come inside the house and he's like, "We were just play fighting," but they were kind of roughing a little bit. And
Yeah.
then I go, "What happened?" He goes, "Well, I put him in a choke." And
Huh.
he goes, "Yeah, he choked me." He's like, "Could have got out and got his hand and pulled it down, but every time I did that, he just cinched it up tighter." And then Lucas goes, "Bro, don't give your back next time."
He's like giving him good solid advice, like, "Don't give up the bag."
He's like, "Huh?
Huh? What are you talking
What
about?
what do you mean give up the back?"
Yeah, isn't it weird that there is gonna be and there already is, like, a big generation of children that are training jujitsu instead of karate now. And so they don't all stick with it. Many of them only train for 5 months or 6 months, but they learn things like don't give up your back or you want to
Guard,
be on
mount.
top. Here's what guard is. Here's what mount is. Like that's
Yeah,
that's an
the
interesting
more of
thing.
those, the better. Those are the people that would support jujitsu as a sport, the people that know a little bit about it.
Yeah, yeah. So maybe the platform, is being constructed still and it's further off. But I think that there's enough money in the jujitsu market. There's enough people doing it that these guys can somewhat, not become mainstream, but become more mainstream than they ever have. Like, there's no reason why ESPN has cornhole on it, but it won't put submission grappling.
Yeah, I could see it being on ESPN.
You know what I mean?
I just can't see it. I don't know, man. I just don't see it ever being
It's a niche sport.
close. It's a niche sport. It's
It's going
like
to be like surfing and skating.
it could be big in its own world.
Right. Look how much influence skating has on fashion. But look how and skateboarders are real popular. But how many people skate and how many people really follow
Name
skating?
one current skateboarder right now.
I don't fucking know, dude. I only know him
I
through my
know one,
kids.
Tony Hawk.
Yeah, but he's
That's
like
it.
from when we were kids, man.
Only name I know.
So I mean, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens with it. But look, they're putting a lot of money into ADCC. Reportedly, the winner's going to get $100,000 or $150,000.
Yeah, the money helps. The more money you put on the line, the more people notice. And I think the harder people train and the better they get because they want to win the money.
100%, man. So I think the winner gets 100 or 150,000, and the loser gets 50,000.
And that's to win the whole fucking thing, right?
That's for the super fight between Gordon Ryan and Andre Galval.
Damn, that's some
Yeah,
big money right there.
yeah,
And no, that happened. I think the reason why this main event happened is that slapping incident.
yeah. I mean, I think so too. I really think that's a, people don't like Gordon Ryan and they get blah blah blah, but that is 100% going to be the story of ADCC, and it's going to be in Las Vegas, and everyone's going to want to watch it. And I almost wonder if the B team split with New Wave is just a gimmick just to build up tension for like Nicky Rod and all these guys to go out there. I mean, I know Craig Jones said it was real, but who fucking knows, man? You know, like you
I
got to
don't know,
promote
but
it.
I don't know, but real life is you can promote your real life too. And really, I think they should be promoting sometimes people are like, well, we want the real jujitsu and the art, this and that, and blah blah blah. What they should be really promoting, like crazy, is that slapping incident. Like, look
Yeah.
at the UFC. What do they promote? Conor McGregor throwing a fucking giant piece of steel inside of the bus when he fought fucking
How
Khabib.
many times did we see that? How
A
many times
million
did we
fucking
see that? A
times.
million times.
Drama and
Yeah.
controversy sells more than the art.
Yeah. And I mean, there's always going to be somebody who goes, I don't like that. I just want to watch the art. And I get that.
Fuck it, just
But
watch the art. Who says you can't just watch the art?
well, I know, but they don't like the drama surrounding it. But the drama is what brings the dollars and it brings the hype and it brings the
It's
excitement.
what causes people to make an emotional investment into a particular match.
Yeah. Yep. 100%, man. So in that sense, um, when I was on Brandon McCaffrey's podcast a couple weeks ago,
Dominated Eddie, the author of the famous song Dominated Eddie.
nominated Eddie, yeah, BMAC. You could check him out on BJJ 365. So we were doing the show,
He
and
still owes me a song, by the way. Next time you see him, he owes me a Big MF song.
I will, man. I'll make sure he writes something explicit lyrics, Big MF. And so he, anyway, man, I lost my train of thought already, dude. See what you did? You interrupted me so many times.
McCracken. I don't know. It's about McCracken.
Oh yeah, they said who was the grappler of the year for 2021. And I'm like, Gordon Ryan, motherfuckers. Like, he's the most, and he didn't even grapple. Like, and he was still the most exciting grappler of the year.
Because he had the slapping incident in his
Exactly,
Instagram
man.
post.
I know. So it is what it is. And I know there's guys that they don't want to talk shit and they want to play it a certain way. And that's okay too. Like, I don't despise that or dislike that. But I also see what's going on the other side and realize, hey, man, look, dude, Gordon Ryan would be driving a forklift if it wasn't for jiu-jitsu. Like, he tries to act like he's super duper smart. He's undereducated, all right? He's great at jiu-jitsu, but,
Did he graduate high school?
probably, but I don't know who's going to hire him to,
I bet he didn't.
being a cocky asshole is not exactly like a great skill set, is it? I mean, Gordon's
It's
a nice
great for
guy
entertainment.
privately. Yeah, it is. It is. Gordon's actually a pretty nice guy behind the scenes, but uh, it's a good thing for jiu-jitsu. I don't care what people think. And this is where it's going anyway. It doesn't matter. You can't stop it.
Just like before with the Gracies and the challenge match, there was crazy shit that's always happened in jiu-jitsu.
No shit. It was, dude, here's what's so
Rivalries.
funny. It was way more barbaric too. Like, it was real. Like, we're going to go to this school and fuck these guys up and we're going to VHS tape it and we're going to pass this shit around and scare the fuck out of everybody. Right. And Gordon Ryan he's just calling out other BJJ guys. You know what I mean? Like, it's not even that big of a deal compared to some of the jiu-jitsu rivalries.
I mean,
he's
been on top for a long fucking time.
Yeah, man. Nobody's really been able to handle him. Nogi is for sure, right? I mean, I think he got outpointed once. Did anybody
beat him? One of Lloyd's guys, or no? Well, am I off on that?
I think you're off on that.
It must have been Tonin then, not Gordon.
I think maybe Tim Spriggs beat Tonin. I'm not really sure.
Oh, it wasn't Gordon.
I don't think so.
I stand corrected. Just edit that out, Jim.
Yeah, take that out. He's been number one for a long, long time.
And he really got launched off that EBI platform. That's what launched Gordon Ryan for sure.
Yeah, he lost to Felipe Pena in
the
finals at ADCC 2017. But since then, he's just been wrecking people. Just wrecking them. Like, not even close. But we'll see what happens. He says he has stomach trouble, so it's interesting to know what's going on. Like, is he really going to be ready for ADCC? But I'm sure he will.
I'm pretty sure that's going to be the case.
Yeah, I think so. So Big MF, I was checking out the Reddit boards, and it's something that I like to do. It makes me chuckle. And we always do jiu-jitsu stuff, You know what I mean? Like that's a
Yeah,
real
of
common
course.
like thing we do, you know. So I thought, man, it might be kind of cool to instead of doing jujitsu stuff, if I just did some like I don't know, like some relationship advice stuff or some
I
man
am great with
advice.
relationship advice. I have saved a lot of marriages. I have saved a lot of relationships. I work wonders. I actually even have given some marriage counseling before in the past.
So I figured we could do like a little bit like that. How's that sound?
Yeah, and if you're interested, just send me a message. I could help anybody's,
I think you
um,
could.
anybody. I could save any relationship, or I could
Let-
end it too.
Let's cue this up. There we go. I don't want to get arrested by YouTube. All right. Here we go. Ask men. All right. Okay, here we go. You ready?
Just do it.
Let me share this. Want to share my Chrome tab?
Awkward silence.
Oh, who cares? Nobody cares. Shut your mouth. All right. I'm assuming you could see the screen there.
I can see it.
Okay, there you go. Okay. Men who are in a relationship or married. How often do you legitimately wish you were single instead?
Wow, that's the only question.
That's the first one for you, man.
Probably like 80% of every fucking married man. Wouldn't you say?
You said
You're
wouldn't you?
married.
Wouldn't you say? How often do you I wouldn't say I wish 80% of the time I was
No, I'm not
single.
saying you do. I would say 80% of the men who are married
Yeah,
would.
probably have wished that at one time or another. That's a fair statement.
This guy is thinking about leaving his marriage,
This guy is
right?
probably. I mean, he went to Reddit with it. So,
He thought so much about it that he thought about posting it on Reddit. Like, how many should I? I'm having these thoughts. I wish I wasn't married. Is this normal? What do I do? I don't know. Let's go to Reddit. Let's see what these strangers that I don't know anything about would say. I'm gonna get some advice from the strangers on Reddit. Yeah, you know what you should do, bud? You should just end your marriages. I never think about that. Divorce this lady. Find somebody hotter. She's probably gained weight. Or like maybe you bettered yourself. You're like, I could have got somebody hotter than this.
yeah, right. Yeah. So I mean, I don't know, that is pretty funny though, Matt. Okay, here we go. If your girlfriend of a couple months asked you for more attention and time, what would your first thought be? Honestly.
Oh God. It really depends though. It depends because you got to ask yourself. Your first reaction might be, "Oh God," but then it's what is it going to be like when this girl finally decides that she wants to get attention from somebody else? How are you going to feel then?
Oh,
Because some guys that act like they're the shit, they're this, they're that, they crumble, they fall apart when that girl goes to somebody else for attention.
yeah, that's right. It's funny how tough guys act too. Like, fuck that bitch. And then when their girl goes, they
I mean, you got to ask
crumble.
yourself: Is it legit? Am I not giving her any attention? Is she jealous of something else that I'm doing? Is she too needy? All those questions got to be answered.
You're giving like sound advice, and that's not what the people want. Let me see here. Okay, let's let me get let's go. Let's share it. Let's go. Um Boom. All right, let's see. One more. Uh, okay. Men of Reddit, what trait of a woman will immediately turn you away and why?
What? I don't know.
Oh, you don't want to get in trouble with your girlfriend. Is she sitting
What
next to
trait
you?
of a woman? No. What trait of a woman will immediately turn you away?
Yeah. What is it for you? I'd like to hear
I don't
it.
know. I don't typically. I mean, I don't typically get turned away.
No, 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 not that they turn.
I
What
mean,
woman?
never,
uh,
ever.
So you like everything about every woman. You don't care.
Oh, what trait of a woman will turn you
You
away? Like
away.
a trait, like not. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't. You know, is she good at bed?
How?
Does she give head? Uh, is
What
she
if she
like,
said
I don't
no?
like to do that, or
What
my
if she
jaw.
just? That's grouse.
Like one time, I was gonna date a girl, and she told me that she really didn't like giving head. I was like, eh.
You didn't. You
I
swiped.
checked out right then and there.
You
If
checked
you're
out.
telling me that now, if you're telling me before our first date that you don't like giving head, that means I'm never gonna get head.
It's like a preemptive attack on you, right?
It's
That's
like she's
basically.
setting you up. She's telling you, don't expect this.
She's telling you this is just dinner. This is dinner, and that's it. It's like when your wife puts the anti-rape sweater on at night before you go to bed, and you're like, we're
She's
just going
putting
to
her
bed tonight.
sweatpants on.
Yeah, the big oversized
She's putting the
sweater,
hoodie on. You know, ain't shit happening.
the hoodie.
What she wears before she goes to bed is definitely telling you something.
Yeah, but you ever take it as a challenge? Like,
Of
I'm gonna
course,
change it. You ever,
absolutely.
do you ever get defeated and get pissed and go to bed angry?
Line up on the couch, jerking off.
On the couch canoe. I'm gonna go ride my couch canoe.
Big MF is on the couch canoe.
We need. This is the intro music for the couch canoe. It's right here. Shit. That's my favorite one. That's hilarious.
The couch canoe song.
Yeah, that's great, man. Dude.
I got one. I got one.
Okay.
I got one. I remember one time I went on the second date. This girl told me that she liked Nike Airs and that I could get them for $150 at this store.
Oh, she knew where you could get them from
Yeah, that was the last.
already.
That was the
How
last
did
date.
that go? She wanted you to
Not
be
too
a
well
sugar
for her.
daddy, potential sugar daddy.
Yeah, I was out.
You were like, it's too sweet for me.
Yeah,
What if
when
she
you're
would have
asking
said
for
like,
shit right away.
what if she would have said a cheaper pair of shoes? What if she would have said, will you get me some lugs?
I'll get you some Pro Wings.
Some Skechers. What if she would have said Skechers has a 2-for-1 at the going out of business? The Skechers in Stockton has been going out of business for 12 years now. Have you noticed that? What if she wanted you to go there and get her a 2-for-1 on some trainers and they were $39.99? What have you done?
Maybe,
You would have did it.
depending,
You
depending
dirty
on what
dog.
I'm
You would have
getting,
went over there and did it.
depending on what I'm getting, what I thought I was going to get in return.
You would have taken that risk.
$30, yeah.
You would have bet
sure,
on red.
of course. That's
You
not a
would bet
bad
on
bet.
red.
That's not a bad bet. I've lost more than that.
$39.99. Then what if she said, "Oh, now I just need one other thing over here."
Now I start thinking, do you want to double down, or do you want to sit this one out?
Like, at what point do you go like, "Dang, I want to keep my investment"?
So you either keep doubling down or you fold.
Is this a real thing that happens to guys when they're out on a date? Like, is this a real thing that goes through their head?
It goes through mine.
I don't think people go out on dates anymore. I'm not sure. I don't know what's happened. I can't even imagine dating right now. It must be madness, like just wild craziness with the fucking apps and the phones and fuck that, dude.
In the beginning, the apps were fucking, it made it easier. Like I was like, holy shit, I'm gonna meet somebody, just bang somebody because of an app. But then there are so many dicks on the app. You're like one dick out of 5,000.
There's too much.
Your odds are so
competition.
stacked against you now.
That's really interesting. Is the trick then to like, I saw some
You
comedians.
got to go back. You got to be you got to do it the old fashioned way. You just got to go talk to chicks instead of using the apps. The apps, you could use the apps, but it's a numbers game. They're way stacked. There's so many dicks on there that you might as well do it. It's like throwing a Hail Mary or fucking throwing a dart against a board. You might hit something.
But do people actually meet people in public still and go up and talk to them? Like, hey, you're cool.
Nowadays, they meet up in hotels.
Nobody meets at the grocery store. Everyone meets at a hotel immediately. Look, I'm not even going to go on. I don't want to share a meal with you unless I could inspect your genitals first. We've basically become, isn't that how animals are? Like, what is the first thing dogs do when they meet each other? They sniff each other's ass. They get right down Look,
It
if
pays to know
everything
these
you want to
things.
know about somebody, you could get from sniffing their ass. I mean, right down to it, you'll know if you like that person or not. Pretty quick, right? So let's stop fucking around with the niceties that we do as humans. We should just fucking like, I want to know what you had for lunch. I got to smell your butt. Let's go. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think I'd really.
You get it, right, man? You get it.
I get what you're saying.
You get what I'm laying down, right? So my kid was asking me about a fight story that we had gotten into when we were kids. He had heard us talking about it, and I couldn't remember all the details, to be honest with you.
Which fight
Uh,
was that?
this was the fight. I was trying to explain to him that you and I. Oh man, I found some pictures, dude. I'm gonna put them up too. I'm gonna send them to my computer while I'm talking to you. I was trying to explain to him that you and I were always kind of like trying to fight people or trying to team up, and we were very attracted to being the bad guys. You know, it was kind of
All
like
true.
we wanted to be the bad guys way more than we wanted to be the good guys. That was for certain, you know.
True.
And so I was telling him about the infamous fight with the Sump brothers.
Oh my God, the Sump brothers. Oh, the Sump brothers were some buck ass wild motherfuckers. We did our wrestling shit as kids, but they were crazy. Like every Sump brother fist fought his dad. Every Sump brother got kicked out of school. Every Sump brother fought teachers, sold drugs, went to prison as they got older. But as kids, they were fucking buck wild. I was pretty young. I think I was first grade, maybe. I was first grade at the most.
No,
You
you
were
had to
pretty.
be older than that because you're 4 years older than me. I was not 1 years old. I was older
I
than
was
one.
7. It was 7 at the most.
You were that young?
It
I
was
don't.
at that church were by that Chinese restaurant.
Yeah, right.
So so
Lindsay.
7 maybe 7 years old or 8. I had never really been punched hard in the face before in my life. We wrestled and maybe threw some body shots. And he got mad because I said that he liked this chick, and he said, "If you say that one more time, I'm gonna kick your ass." It was at church, after church, and
Yeah.
I said it again. It's okay, you're gonna get your ass kicked. So I come outside. He comes outside, and he's like, "Let's go." And I had never been. I was like, "Okay, let's go." And I'm thinking we had all these wrestling matches as kids. We wrestled, and he cracks me right in the fucking face. And it was like I never felt that pain before. And then he punched me in the nose. And I never been punched in the fucking nose before. Not to mention he was a big fucking motherfucker.
Was he older than you?
He was a little older too. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm dead. And right when I thought I was dead, you come running out and you dive and you start biting his fucking ankles.
His Achilles. I gave him an
You're
Achilles
biting his
bite.
ankles, and that's when I had never punched anybody in the face before either. And
Right.
as he went down to fucking grab you, I hauled off and punched this motherfucker in the face. And then we just started trading punches. And I'm like, shit, this guy's strong. He's wild. He's fast. I've never been hit like this before.
Was
And
that
we're
your
going.
go
It was
ahead.
my first real
It's your
fight.
first real fight, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
that's
was
what I
my
was gonna
first real
ask.
fight that I'm like, I might get knocked out, pain. I was like, and then finally, somebody from the church finally came outside. Because, like after church, they talk forever about all the bullshit going on in their lives, about their
Yeah.
kids and
Yeah.
this and that. So finally, one adult came outside and broke it up. And I was so fucking happy that shit got broken up.
Yeah. That was your first street fight. Your first real fight as a kid when you really get punched in the face, right?
That
Really
motherfucker
get socked by
punched.
someone. You weren't the first kid he socked either.
No, he had socked a lot. They would sock each other up. They were
Yeah.
socking everybody up all the fucking time.
They were face punch. There were kids like, man, there was a lot of fighting as kids, but there was a little bit of a like, hey, don't hit full force in the face because that's real. Like that means you really want
I
to go.
had no fucking idea what I was in for when that happened.
They went straight. We almost had a WWF wrestling sensibility about fighting. You know what
When
I
you came
mean?
in with
Like,
the ankle bite, you saved me. I was gonna die. I was gonna get killed at 7 years old, but the ankle biting created an opening for me to land a punch.
It was not just your introduction to fighting, it was our first application of tactics that we had
Of a
learned in
sort
pro
of tag
wrestling.
team sort of wrestling match. You created the distraction when I was about to lose.
That was Rowdy Piper and Bob Orton. I think those were our first two personas that we really wanted to be on some level. Like, we could both team up as it was like one thing that you could be a bad guy, but it was a whole nother thing when it was like you could team up and be a bad guy with another bad guy. Like two
And
bad
use
guys could
some sort of weapon.
cooperate. Yeah, I liked Hulk Hogan, don't get me wrong, and I did. I marked out for him ultimately every time, but I was very attracted to the bad guy kind of a persona and like the cheating kind of a thing and like using weapons and blowing powder in someone's face or doing some kind of bullshit thing like that. That was the only way I foresaw myself ever winning any kind of physical exchange.
Cheating.
So I was okay with that. I thought that's just part of fighting. Like that's part of the game.
Yeah, I remember watching wrestling and I'm like, this guy could be better than you at everything, but you could cheat and still win.
Isn't that
So,
life?
like, if you could cheat, you always have a chance.
Yeah, yeah. I was fascinated by that aspect of pro wrestling. So when when that fight went down, it just seemed natural to me. Like, oh, I'm gonna go be helpful right now.
You saved my ass that day.
Those kids were wild, man. God damn, I was afraid of those
Wild fucking
kids.
kids, man. Were fighting all their fucking lives,
Yeah, I remember
stealing cars, fucking.
I remember going to their house when I was a kid and just seeing them like, man, they just suck each other over minor inconveniences.
They
Like you
would
cut
fucking
me in
hit
line
each
in the
other with
kitchen.
weapons.
Boom. Yeah.
The
They don't
motherfucker cracked his brother and knocked his eye out of his eye got fucking knocked out of the fucking eye socket.
And that was like that was sanctioned by the parents. Like, go outside in the back and fight.
We all watched it.
Yeah. Those were wild times, man. It was just more wild than in general. You know what I mean? It just was, dude. It's different now. It's not the same. Nobody's doing ninja training or boxing in the front yard. Maybe in some places they are, but not a lot. Not a lot. There's not a lot of that
Nobody's
going
throwing
on.
ninja stars at trees. Nobody's fucking getting a bow and arrow and shooting it.
Okay. Grandma had a daycare. Okay. A full fledged daycare she was running in her house. And she had a biker dude living in the daycare playroom like after hours. Don't you think that would be heavily frowned upon now? Like if
These
some
days, yeah, but back then times were different.
she also had her son who was like full on fucking crazy town. You know what I mean? By the way, you remember Chris from back in the day? He hit me up on Instagram, was asking about Daddy Bob. He asked if he was. I said, "Dude, he still lives there, bro." And he's like, "No way." So there was a lot of crazy shit going on there, man, and like, but it just seemed nobody cared. Like people brought their kids there. They knew Bobby was kind of cuckoo. They didn't care. They're like whatever. It's different now, man.
Definitely nuts. Crazy guy. He would fight with all the take care kids. They would get these big battles, long drawn out battles.
He'd yell at him. He'd threaten to kill him. Say he was gonna hit him. He'd say he did all kinds of wild shit to the kids too. Like he'd tell stories about beating people up, throwing people off of bridges,
Set people on fire.
setting people on fire, holding people for ransom, like just wild shit that he was making up. And apparently, it was okay then to say those kinds of things. I think people, it was just like, hey, he's crazy, whatever, keep moving forward. Might have been a better time, but it might just be nostalgia that makes us feel that way. You know what I mean? Who
Yeah.
knows? I don't really know. But it sure seemed like fun, like Saturday night's main event coming on and going skating at the skating rink. Man, that was about the best feeling in the world, going to the skating rink and then going home and watching
You know
Saturday
what's
night's main
funny is
event.
they got the skating rinks have made a comeback out here.
Oh, really?
There's this
That's
one in
interesting.
Sacramento. It shocked me. It's made such a comeback. They have one night in an hour where it's just adults. I was like, what? There's adults getting on roller skates.
Is it
So
like
like
it must is it like our generation that's doing it though? It's
probably
gotta
I
be.
was gonna
Yeah.
go, but something happened where I couldn't. I was like kind of scared to get on skates again. Like, what if I like
See? That,
fucking pull a groin muscle or something?
that's what I'm talking. That's what I was talking about last week about sledding, man. It's
I
fucking like
wasn't for sure how it was gonna go because it's been
right.
like 20 fucking years since I put the skates on.
Did you do it?
We didn't end up going.
Because I remember back in the day when we would go skating, your dumbass would go out there during speed skate, and you were just like fucking big MF out there, big MFing around speed skate. These
Well, the
adults
thing
were
about the skating
skating
was
so
the
fast.
couples is when I finally learned how to mac on girls. When I realized that every girl wanted to skate with somebody when it was couples
Yeah.
only. That was your best fucking shot.
Yeah. I got a girl to skate with me once there. Remember that, man?
No, I don't.
I was a little, I had a little bit of game, even though I was kind of homeschooled out. I was, you know what's funny? Think about this, man. Everybody's homeschooling their kids now, right? That's like the cool retro thing. My mic is about to fall off too. And it's like, oh, my kids are homeschooled. My kids go to independent study. That's what they say. And it's like, oh, yeah, you don't want the school system, blah, blah, blah. But when I was going to that, it was called homeschool and it was fucking stupid. And if you did it, you were a dork, an idiot, and a loser. And people made all these jokes about how you were dumb because you were
Yeah,
homeschooled
it
and how you had
sucked.
no
I got
social
homeschooled and
manners.
I hated it. Like I wanted to go
It's
to
so
school and
lame.
get in fights and smoke weed and fucking like smoke cigarettes and shit.
You wanted to, yeah, bring brass
Get
knuckles to school,
wild.
fuck
Talk to
around.
girls. No, you're gonna go to school. You're gonna do
Yeah.
homeschool because they're gonna influence you in some sort of ungodly manner.
All it did was make you want to be influenced even
And
more.
now, like everyone's in homeschool. It's cool.
It's cool, man. It's remote learning, independent study, man. But when I was doing it, it was like, you're fucking dumb, Freeman, you idiot, you retard.
Of course, I cut school all the time too. So it's like,
I cut homeschool. I started working. I was hustling at 13, working in the mall selling knives. You remember that shit? I was selling knives, getting paid in cash
yeah, I
every
couldn't believe
day.
it. You actually had fucking money.
Had money. I spent everything I made every day. I spent the entire amount of money, whatever I
Selling
had.
selling knives at 13.
Selling knives, selling waffle makers, panini makers, anything I could. I almost got fired and I almost got molested that year. That dude in the bookstore, I think he was trying to groom me, man. Remember that dude? My dad was like, nah, you can't hang out with that guy. I'm like,
He's
come on, dad.
he's gonna give me a bunch of toys and candy if I go to his house.
My dad's like, that guy's a grown man and he asked if he could take you to the movies. I was like, what? I want to see Batman. He's like, you're old enough to have a job, but you're not old enough to not get molested, you idiot. You can't go.
That shit was wild.
That was a weird summer, dude. Or winter. That was actually over the winter. But yeah, man, that was wild. That was when my sister ran away. That was such a weird time. And then the Gulf War happened. Remember that shit? And my parents like watched it. And my mom was all tripped out. And that was wild. That was the first war that was on TV. That was a trippy time.
It was like that was pretty cool because I remember that shit too. And I was like, man, what's gonna happen? This guy's talking all this shit, and then the old man Bush comes and just fucks this dude up like royally. And then I'm like, this guy's gonna be he's surely gonna win the presidency, but it wasn't in the cards.
No, man. You know why? Because he threw up on TV. Remember that? In Japan, he like got sick at a dinner and he threw up and they played it like a gazillion times. And Saturday Night Live had that bit where they kept like showing it go out and come back and go out and come back. Like they were doing like, "Ugh, ugh." After that, Bill Clinton came out, was rocking out with his cock out, playing the sax on Arsenio. And like nobody wanted old man Bush after that. Like
He was pretty
nobody
much
did,
toast
dude.
after the
That was
saxophone.
it. Dude,
After
that
the
was
saxophone,
it.
then he was done.
Everybody
Don't
wanted.
matter how he flexed his muscles on the world, it's still done.
And everyone knew Bill was going to be fucking girls in the White House. Everyone knew that shit. Like that was expected, right? He was already kind of like a fast and loose kind of player guy, right? That was his
Well,
whole
yeah, you see the
persona.
documentary where they had ladies coming in the government's White House all day long, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out.
Big Daddy
For
Clinton,
Slick Willie.
Slick Willie.
I was reading like parts of Monica Lewinsky's book where she was writing Bill letters, some of the letters that she wrote Bill Clinton, and she was pissed off because she was always sucking his dick and he wasn't doing nothing back in return.
He's just
And then she was like,
he's the
"Don't you?
president.
I need something too here."
He's the president of the United States. Dang. And he got deposed for that. They impeached him in the House, I guess, but I mean, it was like the same thing as when they impeached Trump in the House. They knew they weren't going to get a full impeachment. It's just a
Yeah,
political
they
show.
only impeach you when you're successful.
Yeah, I know, it's so fucking dumb. Politics in the United States has jumped the shark so hard, it's not even funny. Like It's just it's ridiculous. It literally is good guys and bad guys in the WWE now. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Vince McMahon was running the show. He may as well. He'd probably do a better job.
He is running the show.
I wish you. I would rather see Vince McMahon and Dana White run the country than the way it's going now. But I don't even think it matters. It's like Idiocracy, right? Have you seen Idiocracy?
Better watch it, bud. You're going to get canceled.
Oh no, we're gonna take him off the air.
He's putting out disinformation.
Hey, did you see this though? And I don't know how true this is. Well, a couple things. One is, how in the world did Joe Rogan become
the expert on COVID
person?
or on the COVID controversial practices?
Dude, now it's like 270 doctors write a letter accusing Joe Rogan of spreading misinformation. And then did you see when they asked Dana White about that, what he said?
He said that they're trying to keep people away from things at work or something like that.
Yeah, he did. He said, well, it worked for me. And I know that's all I know is I took it and it worked for me. I took ivermectin. It worked for me. So
you had like Dana White, the quarterback Rodgers, and then Rogan. They're
and
all
Tim
going
Freeman.
to Joe Rogan for advice on how to defeat COVID when they got it.
I called Joe up when I got it, and I was like, I can't afford the whole treatment for myself and my wife, so we're going to split it. She got the monoclonal antibodies. I got the ivermectin.
And here you are.
And I'm alive right now.
I've, to this day, knock on wood, I've been exposed to a bazillion people, parties, shared certain things. The people that had COVID never got it.
Never got it. Or if you
I'll
did,
be dead tomorrow, and all the fucking bitches will be celebrating. He said that he never got it, and now he's dead. That's what you get.
They love it. They love it when a COVID, like anyone who doesn't think COVID is the end of the world, they love it when they get sick. So whatever, who cares? I'm so sick of that shit. I'm so tired.
I like to flip it I like to see people that have been vaccinated like a shitload of times die of COVID. No, I'm just kidding.
It's a joke. This is all satire and jokes, man. Everyone gets too uptight. It's hard to talk about shit now, though. It's just like, fuck, dude.
Be a label. This podcast spreads disinformation. That would be good for you, though. It would put it over.
Remember the book?
Doctors wrote a letter about your podcast spreading misinformation.
Wasn't there a book called Disinformation like in 2005, or it was like one of those conspiracy style?
I know that far back.
Books. The whole conspiracy industry jumped the shark too. I remember back in the day when that was like a real secretive kind of a thing to even talk about it. Now it's like fucking everybody talks about it. Everyone who watches comic book movies is into conspiracy theory.
Here's the real conspiracy. There is no conspiracy.
Yeah, it's all just there. Maybe. I don't know. Have you watched I heard Oliver Stone, he was on Joe Rogan and he was talking about the Kennedy assassination, and it was pretty fascinating. He's got a new documentary out like 30 years after the movie he made, some more information has come out. It's pretty interesting. Like he says that America fundamentally changed when Kennedy was assassinated. That's when like basically the presidency just went to the CIA.
That makes sense for so many different reasons. It branded the psyche of every American too, that their president was no longer safe.
Yeah, right. That he could be taken out and we could never find out who did it. It's like kind of ridiculous.
We're going to tell you who did it, but you're all going to know that it's bullshit, but you'll be too scared to question it.
Yeah. Man, can you imagine if they tried that again, like in 2020?
Dude, fuck, it'd be crazy. Everybody would go nuts.
Imagine if they did something and they tried to tell you it was one thing, but it was something else. And
that's what would happen.
Yeah. Right. But anyway, this is not a political show.
Well, Alex Jones would know. They would have the documents. They've unsealed the documents already.
Yeah. What's going on with your wrestling show? Your wrestling stuff.
I'm glad you said that. There's this guy named Tony Vargas. He's done some MMA too, so everybody always sort of compares us. And one time we were kind of cool. We trained together and shit like that, did jiu-jitsu together. He was kind of helping me out and putting me over. He's been in wrestling longer. And then all of a sudden he starts talking shit and telling people that we're going to do this dog collar match. And he's going to fucking basically shoot on me with a fucking chain, like crack me with the fucking chain.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then, he changed a lot from when we first were, hanging out. I hooked this guy up, man. I got Stephen Bonner to come the next level. Those guys did, main event matches, and he kind of changed, started talking shit. So I don't know, man. This is the second match I've been in where I'm not so sure what's gonna happen. There's a chain involved. I don't know. I do know this: whatever that motherfucker gives me, I'm gonna fucking give it right back.
Are you scared?
You know, yeah, man, a little bit. I think you'd be crazy not to be a little bit scared when somebody's saying they're gonna really fuck you up with the fucking giant chain. A little bit, but fear's good. It's not if you're scared, it's what do you do with that fear?
What are you doing
I'm
with
gonna
that fear?
fucking smash him in the face with the fucking chain. I'm gonna take the chain and I'm gonna do jujitsu with the goddamn chain. I'm gonna add it. You know what I'm saying? If I take them out, it's not gonna be just me punching you with my fist. I'll punch him with the fucking chain.
Is that legal in this match?
Yeah, anything goes.
Oh, so you can use the chain.
Yeah, dog collar match.
So you're gonna shoot on him before he can shoot on you.
That's what I'm thinking.
That's what you're thinking.
And then that's February 5th, Modesto, California, TWF. And then on the 22nd of this month, there's this fucking cowboy that I have a match against for next level. Me and my partner, CJ Dirt, the American Degenerates, we should have been tag team champions a long time ago. For legit, man. This is, but the powers that be have been holding us back. And for some reason, we're doing a singles match, not a tag team match against these fucking jabronis, some cowboy. CJ's going against this big, giant, tall motherfucker. He's just big, giant, tall, but he ain't shit, really. Like, you know what I'm saying? I would fucking choke that motherfucker out. And CJ's no slouch, man. CJ wrestled. He's got some real skills. We're the most entertaining team everywhere we go. We always rock the house. We never have a boring crowd. They're always loud as fuck. And maybe sometimes you could just be too over. You could be too good. And people can like you too much. So motherfuckers try to fuck with that.
Is that what's going on?
Yeah, that's what's going on. We should be tag team champions already. We should be fighting for the tag team titles. We don't even get a fucking tag team title match. And the last time I go to the fucking show, I've done so much for this fucking company and I put this company on my back. Next level. I had events on my property, main evented, sold tickets, there was not an empty seat in the fucking house when I main evented against Michael Shawn in Lodi, California. We went to fucking war. The motherfucking guy lost a hearing in his ear when the match was over. They slapped him so fucking hard. And then, they cock block us. Don't want to give us a tag team fucking title match when it's the fucking right thing to do. Me and CJ are the tag team faces of next level. The guys that hold the tag team titles, the Fat Samoan and Austin Ames and Justin Caton, those guys, they're not the degenerates. They don't rock the crowd. They don't they don't rock the house. People don't line up to talk to them.
No, I agree with you. I've been to several of your wrestling matches.
But January 22nd in Sacramento, California, Next Level Wrestling, which you can check out on Roku on the CSTV channel. All the shows there, all the matches. The match where I knocked Michael Shawn so hard in his fucking ear that he lost his hearing for like a couple of weeks. The Stephen Bonner matches, the Tony Vargas, it's some good shit. But I'm going against Austin Ames. This who gives a fuck about a cowboy? It's just a lame. Cowboys are lame.
Yeah,
I'm gonna send that motherfucker back to the mountain.
To the mountain. Put him back there. Well, I encourage our viewers and our listeners to watch it, to check it out. They can check it out if they have Roku, right? You got Roku, you go to that channel.
Download the CSTV app. Look for Next Level Wrestling.
Next Level Wrestling. Oh, man. Well, buddy, I don't got much more, man.
It was a little slow week in MMA. Not a lot going on. But next week, I can't wait for the Francis fight. The motherfucker's last fight on his contract. He's saying he's never going to fight again for $500,000. He wants way more money and the rights to go do boxing if he chooses to. This contract right here is, I think, a major point in MMA history and negotiations.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's going to be a real big deal, especially because it's very, very rare that the UFC allows for cross promotion. And I don't think I've ever seen anyone get a minimum where they said, I will not fight for less than this. Like, that's a lot of cash, too, that he's asking for.
Very interested in seeing how this negotiation plays out.
Yeah, it's time, dude. It's gonna be fine. He's gonna get what he wants. That's what I think. That's what I suspect, unless he loses, and then they're gonna tell him to go kick
He
rocks.
might, I think he's gonna win because he's got the power, but he's fighting a tough motherfucker.
Oh, I think Gain has a real chance to beat him, like
I
for
think
sure.
Dane is just gonna eventually get caught with one of those power punches.
You might be right. You might be right because it is hard to avoid, but that's definitely a match I'm gonna want to watch. But goddamn, they raised the pay per view price up again, dude. Jesus Christ, man.
Well, why raise it when people can stream it for fucking free?
Yeah, right. Well, they raised it again, man. It's like
All more of a reason to stream it.
70 something bucks now. It's
It's
crazy.
not a good time to raise the
Inflation.
fucking price.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Well, all right. It's good to be back, man. It's good to put the reps in, good to put the work in. Doesn't even matter. It's a good show. I always like hanging out with you, Big MF. It's always a good time.
Yeah, man. I mean, I miss grappling with you. I miss being on the mats, and hopefully I'll link up with you soon.
Yeah, we will. Okay, buddy. I'll see you soon.
Later.